Hello, my name is Stacy Wagner, and this is my final presentation for oral communication instructed by Dr. Carol Brooks. I've gained through this course for speaking effectively. Effective oral communication skills can improve your life in three crucial areas: personal relationships, college classes, and careers. That's out of Confident Public Speaking by Deanna Salnow, 2005. Throughout this course, I have given several types of speeches. One was an informative speech. I discussed the alarming statistics of individuals incarcerated within our prisons, along with the positive benefits of ministering the Word of God to them and the positive outcome from that. This is such a needed thing in our prisons today, because we have moms and dads sitting in prisons, and we have little children being raised by aunts and grandparents, and the day is going to come that these individuals will get out of prison, and they have to go home, and they have to be this role model to their families, and they have to rear these children up correctly. And so it all starts with them, and if we can get the word into the prison, it helps to reform them and them become better people, and also to be more effective in their community. And so this is very close to my heart, and that's why I chose to do this speech. I believe it went well. I did present ethos, which is credibility, and logos, being logical. However, I did lack in conveying pathos, which is emotional. I need to improve demonstrating emotion, as well as drawing my audience through my emotions and my presentational aids, of course. Presentational aids can be a powerful tool in relaying your topic, and improving on my use of them will assist my speeches in their effectiveness. Now, my demonstration speech was a lot of fun. I demonstrated how to make a turkey out of a pine cone. As far as improvement with the speech, that would be dealing with my anxiety, because I do suffer from multi-anxiety problems. In Confident Speaking by Deanna Salnow, 2005, she states, "We learned that public speaking anxiety stems from socialization, learning style, preference, and self-talk. Taking the time to learn what your anxiety stems from will make it easier to overcome the fears some people have of public speaking. Techniques are also given for overcoming your anxiety through the systematic desensitization, the three-step process described by Deanna Salnow. This is on page 41. After self-critiquing my speech, I found much needed improvement in the areas of my organization and better clarity for presenting the step-by-step demonstration. I really should have done better in this area, because I give step-by-step demonstrations very often. I do the projects for VBS at our church, and I have a wide variety of children and age groups, and therefore, you know, some age groups, they can use scissors, some can't, so things have to be pre-cut. And normally when I'm doing the presentation to that age group, I'm not having to represent many different items, only the items that they will be using. Therefore, I think that's what made this speech just a little bit difficult for me. By Deanna Salnow and our reading material, it says that a self-critique forces you to temper negative self-talk with positive criticism. If your anxiety is rooted in fear of failure, this cognitive restructuring technique will eventually reduce it. Always use ethics when effective critiquing. This is also better known as constructive criticism, which we're all familiar with, when analyzing others, of course. Salnow also notes that choosing the correct phrase or words in relating the negative criticism as personal perceptions to be ethical. That's also, you know, choosing the right words, and that is so important in the way we speak to anyone at any time. The Scriptures teaches us to be careful with our words. Proverbs 15:1 reads, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but a grievous word stirs up anger." We should examine the words we use and the way we convey them to others. Not only is this important for delivering effective speeches, but in our communication at home with family, friends, and strangers alike. Our speech reveals the heart, and that is something that we should all consider before we speak. In my persuasive speech, I discussed the importance and survival of charitable organizations during the economic crisis. I cited my sources, established my thesis, had a common flow and conclusion. The information was ethical and had the ability to persuade the audience by emotion. Had I used the nonverbal techniques in conveying my speech, my rhetorical appeals were weak. I had hoped to draw my audience in by prompting them with emotion to become involved in charitable organizations. I could have used my presentational aids more effectively, given the description of the pictures, such as the children sitting. You could tell that they were dirty and they were hungry. And I could have also told the meaning of those pictures, which would have helped my audience relate more to my presentational aid. Placing my hand over my heart to demonstrate sympathy would have been effective, along with wiping my eye, maybe to represent sorrow. I was not satisfied with my performance in this speech. I really disappointed myself, because this is something else that is close to my heart as far as charitable organizations and giving and being involved. We have many wonderful organizations in the area that I live in, the Hub Ministry, which actually takes care of the homeless and the people on the streets. They supply food and coats, and so there's many ways for people to get involved, and I had hoped to really draw my audience in, because at some point in time we all need help, and I had a few people in my audience that had been on the other side of that, and I really feel like, you know, we receive, but we should also give. And so, like I said, I could have done much, much better in presenting that speech. Now, some of the biblical principles relevant for competent public speaking are truth, morality, compassion, and of course, grace. The Bible is the living Word of God. Now, in John 1 through 3, reads, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made." Now, how did God make all things? Well, if we go back to Genesis 1:3, it says that, "And God said, let there be light, and there was light." God spoke all things into existence. Okay? Therefore, He demonstrated to us the power and the importance of speaking correctly, the words we choose. This is so important. And this was the beginning. Okay? Remember, it said this was the beginning, and this is the beginning with us, is what comes out of us, how we relay it. So we really got to watch our words. Now, with this in mind, we can also read in Ephesians 4:29, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." And of course, we all like the word grace. The communication we engage in, whether by speaking publicly or in mutual conversation among friends, should be glorifying to God and uplifting to others. Now, the information that I've learned in this course will be applicable in communicating more effectively with my teenagers. Positive communication with teenagers can be very difficult at times. Sometimes they can take what you say and they can turn it around, and they do all kind of fun things with it. So it's really, really important to be careful how we word the way we speak to our teenagers when we are trying to convey principles, rules, and so forth. I also believe that this course is going to be helpful to me through my learning how to outline. I will be able to outline my Sunday school lessons along with the prison ministry programs that allow adjustment in there, because sometimes these turn into discussions. So it can kind of be classified as an impromptu speech. I would like to thank you, Dr. Carol Brooks, so much for being so gracious with me through this course and the positive feedback that you provided. I'm trying to smile. I'm trying to remember that. Merry Christmas, Dr. Brooks. Mary and Rosalinda, it's been great. God bless.